Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now this video is the YouTube video I promised a little while back, and this is how I got a start on YouTube and giving you guys advice, basically how to do it as well. I am fairly surprised of how many people want this video, because there must be a lot of you that want to do a YouTube channel. And starting with that, all I want to say is YouTube is really hard. There are obviously examples of people not doing much and just exploding, but for somebody that, you know, for myself, you know, climbing is hard. You have to work hard, you have to upload consistently and all that. So we actually go into what we're going to be covering today. This is, as well, I just want to say, this is going to be a just relaxed chat. I don't really want to make a really big, serious video on something that I'm not an expert on. So, just again, in the introduction, I believe nobody is an expert in YouTube. You know, nobody can predict where it's going to go. Nobody can predict what's going to be popular, what's not. As a content producer, you kind of have an idea if something's going to be good, but you never know. You know, people could hate it. So this is the content. So we're going to do the introduction, which we're doing now. Always ask questions. So this is just frequently asked questions. That also links into the software of like what I actually use to edit, record, all that. Advertise or advertising. Schedule and planning, which is important. And dealing with the comment section, and then the lastly one as just a message really to have fun. And I will say this isn't going to be everything, because as again I'm doing a relaxed conversation, pretty much unscripted. I don't like scripting things, and if I kind of think of something on the fly, then that will be in there, and it may not be involved in the comment or the contents right there. So all I'll say is in this video, maybe put some music on in the background, because I don't like putting music in, because, you know, I like music that you don't, the audio levels, etc. So put your own music on in the background, and you can minimize it, I don't really mind. But that's it, so hopefully you guys enjoy this, and let's get started, really. So again, the introduction. As mentioned, YouTube is hard. The first thing I will say is don't really expect to get a lot of subscribers, at least initially. As you'll always hear me say in at a milestone or whatever, obviously I thank everybody, but I never expect to get anywhere. Never did. And I think that's the case for most big YouTubers. You know, most YouTubers that I personally follow, you know, they just did it for fun when they first started. And that's what I kind of say. A lot of people who want to do YouTube nowadays are going in with the wrong mindset of, oh no, YouTube's going to be my job, and YouTube is, I'm going to be successful on YouTube. That is the wrong mindset to go in with, because nobody knows, and you're only going to put extra pressure on yourself. You should be doing YouTube because you simply enjoy making content. That's simple. It should be that simple. And that was the case with Total Biscuit, PewDiePie, you know, anyone, Jesse Cox, anybody who first started YouTube. That's pretty much the case. They're like, I've got some spare time. I'm not doing anything. Let's do some content on YouTube, and that's what happened. They didn't force it. They didn't think it was going to be their job. But nowadays, you have people that are looking at these YouTubers and going, no, I can do that too. Which, yeah, just don't do that, because you could hurt yourself or let yourself down, because, as again, nobody really knows. The first thing as well, introduction, make sure you're doing content that you actually enjoy producing. That sounds really silly, but if my as I said, this is going to be a lot about my personal story. I, for a very long time, did full game commentaries on the channel, which were pre-recorded, and then I record my voice over them. I got bored of doing them, I'll be honest. I did get bored of doing them, and that's why I stopped doing them. And now I do much more live stuff. So we had all the live Smurf stuff. There's going to be live Diamond stuff coming up on the channel. I'm moving more into the live commentary area. Now, excuse me if there's a plane. There is one going over. But yeah, if you are getting bored of doing a certain thing, don't do it. That's simple. You know, you could argue if it's fairly successful, then you should probably keep doing it. Which is, again, you have to weigh up the positives and the benefits, or the positives and the negatives. But majority of the time, you should do what you enjoy. Which I think is the main point, because at the start of YouTube, it's not going to be your job, obviously. It's going to be a hobby. And if you're not having fun with your hobby, then what's the point? So that's pretty much it for the intro. All I'll say, again, is just do it for the right reasons and have fun, really. We'll be going on that point again a little bit later. Now, they always ask questions a bit. You see these in pretty much every single video of, what music do you use? What software do you use? How do you record? So we'll be doing software in a second. All I'll say, if you ever want to find out what music somebody is using in their YouTube video, look in the description box. The little box right under this video, there's probably going to be a little arrow that you can click out to get more information. All the information you probably ever want is there. What music they use, anything, other links, whatever. Just make sure if you watch a YouTuber, because I get it, what's the intro music, Huz? It is called Snake Eyes and it's by Monster Cat, but it is in there in the description. You can find that every single video, but people don't really look. So as a general tip to people just on YouTube, that's what you can do. Now they always ask questions, most of them are more toward the software, so we're going to move on straight to the software. If I think of any more frequent questions, then I will come back to them. All I'll say is if you've personally got any questions after you've watched this video, then put them in the comments below. I will answer them my best, but obviously my best is from a point of view of 25,000 subscribers, which in the terms of YouTube size, I'm actually a large YouTuber compared to the average person. But I do not think of myself a large at all, because my personal favorites, my heroes on YouTube, if you want to call it that, obviously have like 1 million, 2 million subscribers easily. But if you actually go on every single YouTube channel across the whole website that actually produces videos, the average would be probably about 100 subscribers. And obviously now I'm at 25,000, so I'm extremely happy with that. And yeah, so that is what my point of view is obviously coming from as a 25k channel. But if now we move on to the software, so if I do this and then boom, I need to set up now. Okay, so this is all below. This is the softwares that I use. I thought I'd do it this way because it's fairly easy. It's visual, so if you do have the video minimized, if you're only listening to it, this is the point that I'll probably say, just watch this part. I will be mentioning each of them, obviously individually. So if we start that way, start that one over there. That is Bandicam, right? What does Bandicam do? Have you ever heard of Fraps? I presume you have. Now, Bandicam is, I believe, a better version of Fraps. It is a screen capture program that, you can tell it to record a game. You can tell it to record your whole screen if you want to. And it records it, etc. And the difference between Fraps and Bandicam, when you've recorded the footage, Bandicam's file size is a lot smaller, which is great. And it's the same quality. It's still pretty damn good. But it's a lot smaller, which does help a lot if you've got limited space or whatever. I don't really have limited space, but I just prefer smaller files. So that's Bandicam. I use that on the occasional video, but we will be going into more detail what I now use the most. Moving more down the list, this one down here, Audacity. Audacity is my audio software. I'm using it right now to record this video. It is for literally recording my mic. And then you may ask, why don't I record my audio with Bandicam or OBS? Because it's very hard to get them in sync, etc. Where I'll give you a little tip here right now. If I just quickly minimize this. So if when you've got Audacity up and when you've got your recording software up with your camera, if you're doing that, whatever, or you're doing any recording, very, very, very easy tip. So you put your hands together, 3, 2, 1, sync. You do a clap, and then that clap in the audio file will be a massive spike, obviously, because it's a really loud sound. And then you match up the clap when your hands connect in the video file to when the large spike in the audio file is, and hey ho, you've got a synced video. So that's pretty much a basic tip for you there. So that's Audacity. It's a great program. It's probably the best one on the market for free. Because you can remove static noise if you're good enough, and there's all different things you can do, but that's Audacity. Middle one, many of you know what this is. I presume most of you, 100% probably know. Photoshop. Photoshop is what I use to make my graphics. It's what I use to make my thumbnails. Anything. My artists, when I get new artwork done, they all use Photoshop. It's just the generic or the best artist software out there. So that's Photoshop. I'm not really going to go into detail what it is because everybody knows what it is. Next one along, if we go for the top one first, Open Broadcaster software. Now, some of you may not know what it is. Some of you may be like, huh? Now, OBS, for short, is a streaming software, and this is what I use to stream to Twitch, etc. But this is also what I'm recording this video with. OBS has a local recording function that you can just not live stream. You can record it straight to your desktop or your computer, and this is how I can bring up all these little things. Like normally, if I were to do this like just a standard video, I'd have to kind of pretend that this stuff is here and then edit it back in Sony Vegas, you know, at the end of doing it all. But in OBS, I can do it all at the same time. Much, much, much simpler. So that's OBS. General settings. My settings I'll put down in the description. You can Google a lot of settings. You know, my settings are to a kind of a high-end computer. And that is one thing to say that I haven't mentioned in the intro or anything, and I thought I'd mention it now. To do YouTube or to do streaming or anything like that, don't even think about it without having a decent computer. And I mean, maybe if bad is here, average or good is here, and average is obviously in the middle, I mean above average, because rendering videos crushes your computer. If you don't have a good computer, it will last maybe 2 hours on a half an hour. Well, obviously with my computer, a half an hour video probably renders in about 20 minutes. So a good computer is vital, and also a good internet connection. Obviously that goes without saying. Now the one below OBS, many of you are going to laugh, but Windows Movie Maker. If you're not doing fancy editing videos or anything like that, Windows Movie Maker is fine for you. I used Windows Movie Maker when I first started the channel because all my videos was an intro, the bulk video, which was the commentary, and then maybe an outro. That was it. That's all I needed. I didn't bring up graphics or anything like I do nowadays occasionally. So I used Windows Movie Maker. It's completely fine. You know, you can use it. It's free as well, so that kind of helps a lot of people. And then the final one, down the list, that way, is Sony Vegas Pro 12. I think I use. Now, Sony Vegas is arguably the best of this type, but a lot of people also use Adobe Premiere Pro. So all I'll say, if you are looking to go for a big video editing software, get the trial of Vegas, get the trial of Adobe Premiere Pro, and just see which one's better for you. Now, these softwares are fairly complicated when you first start them. There are online tutorials, so look for them. Just Google like Sony Vegas tutorial, go through them, learn a little bit more, and that will help you a lot. Because yeah, when I first started, I didn't even know how to bring up a graphic or anything, but now obviously I do. I know how to do transitions. I know how to do, you know, a lot of stuff. I'm still rather newbie with it, but that's that. So that is all the softwares of what probably an average YouTuber uses. There are more than this, but they are the ones that I kind of personally use on a regular basis. Obviously, I don't use Windows Movie Maker anymore, but I thought I'd mention it because if you guys are just starting, then it's completely fine. I thought I'd mention that. So if we do that, then that. So that is the software. So that's that bit. Now, advertising. Advertising is very important, and many people on YouTube, when they first start, don't even do it. And this is the thing. How do you expect people to find your video if you don't even advertise it? You know, you go watch TV, there's adverts everywhere. That's how it works. How do people know you exist in the end of the day? Because when you're a brand new channel, when you're a smaller channel, you could title a video, I don't know, Counter-Strike Go gameplay. And someone YouTubes that as Zach's title, but because you're a brand new channel, you're not very big, yours won't come near the top. Yours will be way pages and pages down the list. So in order to get people to watch it when you first start, you have to advertise if you want any success. Personally, my story, and I don't want everybody to copy my story because I don't want the place to get flooded. But obviously, I'm more of an educational YouTube channel that I try to teach people how to play the game a little bit better, etc. I went to the subreddit called Summoner School. I love Summoner School. I love what it stands for. And I just uploaded my videos there. Like, I made a thread saying, I made a video, check it out if you want to learn a little bit about this. And it worked for me. I have to give credit to Summoner School a lot because probably my first 1,000 subscribers or so probably came from, well, a lot of them probably came from Summoner School. Now, I know nowadays they're a lot stricter and the community's obviously grown a lot more. But yeah, that's how I got my start. So if you're doing, you know, League of Legends videos, there's the League of Legends subreddit. There are a lot of League of Legends subreddits, like comedy League of Legends, funny videos League of Legends. all on that on Reddit. So yeah, advertising Reddit is my biggest, obviously, advice. And because you're watching me, you're probably going to end up doing League of Legends content if you are trying to do a YouTube channel. And there's the forums on League of Legends. There's different forums around the internet. Just find a place to advertise. There's also your friends. Nothing beats word of mouth, honestly. If you have, I don't know, let's say 5 friends, you get your 5 friends to watch it, you get your 5 friends to like it, you get all them 5 friends to tell another friend, and then them friends tell another friend, another friend, another friend, and it's a big snowballing effect. That is like the dream, and that's kind of what Reddit is. It's like a big snowball effect. All I'll say is if you get a video on the front page of Reddit, you're guaranteeing yourself 25,000 views on that video. That's just how it works. If you get your video on the second page of Reddit, you're looking over 10,000 views. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how big Reddit is in advertising. But all I'll say to that is don't put every video on Reddit. Unless you are very proud of every single video. Because there have been, let's give some examples. There have been YouTubers out there that have done that and have been very successful. So the big one that springs to my mind is Cowbell or K-Bell or something like that. I can't pronounce his name, is really hard. But I remember, God, it was several, or like months ago. I was speaking to him, and he was actually lower subscriber numbers than me. He was about 8,000. He was doing videos for a little while, and then he had his whole big boom. Like he got his first Reddit video on the front page. People loved it, and then for the next like 2 months, every video he did got the front page of Reddit. And then he turned into like a 200,000 subscriber channel, like in 2 months. Like he was about 8,000 subscribers, then he went to 200,000 subscribers in about 2 months. That is crazy growth. The same happened with Sky Williams. Exactly the same happened. So Reddit can make your channel. But there have been examples of people putting out content, like a lot of content. I'm not going to mention any names, but there have been examples of people trying to put a lot of Reddit content out there and they're just not getting any traction. Myself, I've put the occasional video on Reddit. I try not to do it often, but I've had one video on the front page of Reddit, and that was how I got Diamond Solo Queue, and obviously that has over 200,000 views, etc. So it's pretty obvious which one it was. And then I've had other videos, but I've only got the second page, and you'll see they're the ones with like 40,000 views, 50,000 views. So it does work, but trust me, flooding the market probably isn't your best idea unless you are very proud of it. So that's pretty much it with advertising, just to say it is important. Now, schedule and planning. Now, a lot of people will be going, you don't need this part. Trust me, you do. Now, consistency is key on YouTube. If people will simply they'll stop subscribing, or they won't subscribe if they don't see consistency on the channel. Because a lot of the time, what happens is someone watches your video, they don't subscribe from the video, they click on your channel and see your other videos of how often does this person upload, what other content do they do, etc. So consistency is key. I'd say the perfect kind of plan or schedule what you want to do is 3 videos a week. That's it. That's all you need to do. Occasionally you can do 4, occasionally you can do 2. But if you do 3 videos a week, 3 videos out of 7 days isn't a lot. But it works very, very well. It gives you time to do good videos. It gives you time to kind of come up with ideas. And the big thing, it also gives you time to live your own life. This is very important. A lot of people become obsessed with YouTube when they first start. They can't put the web page down. They can't stop reading comments. So trust me, 3 videos a week will give you enough time to kind of get on with your schoolwork, do your job properly, etc. Which actually I'm going to be started. I already kind of have started 3 videos a week. But I start university on September the 29th this month, again, going into second year. And you guys, there will be an announcement video nearer, and there will be specific days that videos are coming up. They're not going to be these days, but it could be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday could be my video days, for example. And that's it. Then you guys know there's videos coming up on them days. Your audience knows, so you're more prepared. And if you're a streamer or something like me, like I do streaming on Twitch, it also gives you spare days to do other things, other projects, streaming, etc. So it's just a very good idea to just plan or schedule your time on YouTube. Obviously, I'm not going to fully tell you, do what you want, but that's just a general tip from myself. Now, the big last thing I want to talk about is dealing with the comment section, and then we'll wrap up the video with just a couple other tips, and that'll be it. So dealing with the comment section is a very kind of important thing, I'd say. It's a lot more, when you first start YouTube, you don't really think about it. I didn't. I don't think anybody does. But what you have to remember is you're on the internet. The internet is a kind of dark place. It's a place of not nice people, trolls, people that having a bad day or having a bad life in general and want to just put hurt into other people. That's just the internet. So when you're putting content out there, you have to expect some people not to like it. You're going to have people that love it, you're going to have people that like it, and you're going to have people that hate it. And they're going to hate you personally. Someone watching this video right now could personally hate me for no reason, but they just will. That's just the way it works. So dealing with the comment section, you've got to take it as nothing, because if you reply to a comment in a bad way, if you, rage back at them, swear at them, whatever, that's just going to be a very bad thing for you. As kind of, my whole persona, etc., is kind of similar to what I am in real life. A lot of people say, yeah, I'm calm, I don't rage in League of Legends. It's like, no, I don't. And that's the same in the comment section. I've never replied to a comment, raging back at them or anything. There's no point. And you have to remember, if you simply think the guy is being an idiot, or, you don't want him on your channel, you don't want him in your community, just ban him from the channel. It's that simple. I've banned a few people, and they never can come back. That's how it works. But I just strongly advise never replying in a bad way to a comment, because there have been examples of YouTubers that have done that. One big one, let's go into it, and I don't want to, to go on about a lot, but Total Biscuit. Many of you know who he is, but he once replied to a comment with the phrase, like, get cancer type thing, and not the funny thing, because it's not a funny topic, but he actually has cancer right now. A lot of people said, oh, that's irony, etc., but he actually, I think for a while, disabled his comment section after that, because all the comment section was like, oh, you did this to somebody, you shouldn't do that, etc., etc., etc. I think that actually happened on Twitter. Which, yeah, he apologized and he has never done it again. Just don't go into the trolls, because the trolls are there just to annoy people, and they don't waste your breath on them. They're not worth it. That's pretty much just what to say. Now, let's wrap up this video. So I wanted to make this video about 25 minutes, so we're pretty much on the mark. So, just a couple of things going back into it, or finishing up, sorry. Collaboration, if you want to do videos with other people, it's a good idea. If you guys have a bond or a connection, then it's great. Doing collab with friends is probably the best way to start. I'd never recommend starting a channel with collab, especially with a bigger channel, because all you'll be known as is the guy that did videos with that guy. Now, the biggest example I can give of this is, if any of you know Markiplier, he has a friend called Bob and Wade, or two friends. Both of Bob and Wade have their own channels, and all them guys, they do their own content, but all they're known as is the guys that rode off the back of Markiplier. That's it. Now, I enjoy Bob and Wade's content, but that's what they're always going to be known as, is the guys that went off the back of Markiplier and now making their own stuff. Most of their stuff is even with Markiplier still to this day. So, yeah, just be careful who you collab with. Don't try to collab with somebody a lot bigger than you, because that's just a waste of time. Obviously, if you have a personal friend, they may do collab with you. A big example is when I was a lot smaller. Obviously, Fi to this day is still a lot bigger than me. But me and Fi have done the occasional video together. It wasn't, on business. It was because we're friends. That simple. We were in the same LOL team together. We're like, let's do a video. And it was that simple. So yeah, just think about who you should collab with if you want to do any at all. And that's pretty much it. Just respect that YouTube is hard. You may not always succeed. But that's this video. So again, just have fun is the biggest key. And to wrap up this video, the comment section below, if you have any questions regarding any YouTube stuff, feel free to put it down there. And I'm also giving channels, you guys at home, if you have a YouTube channel, advertise your channel down below. It will go into the spam filter, but I will try my best to unspam all of them. If I miss a couple, I'm sorry, because it may be too many, but advertise below. Tell people what you do, etc. I'm giving you permission only in this video. That is it, but in this video. So anyway, thanks for watching, and that's it. So hopefully you guys have success with YouTube. Hopefully this video would have helped a little bit. Probably the software one probably would have helped the most people. And yeah, again, I forgot to mention audio equipment and all that. Get decent audio equipment, get a decent headset. You don't need a professional mic. Like, you don't need something like this when you first start. But just a decent one. If you listen back to the footage and it's all staticky, people won't enjoy it. That's just how it's going to work. So again, thanks for watching, or thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.